What's up, Trad Nation? This is
Breaking Trad.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Breaking Trad. I'm Alan.
And I'm Jeremy. Wait, no, I'm not.
Wait.
What?
I thought it was Jimmy. Are you Jimmy?
No, I'm Matt.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So again, just to reiterate, that's Matt.
Yes.
And
Oh, I'm Amanda.
are you sure?
I
You
am.
seem very confused.
I'm not. I was
You're
just
like,
waiting
oh,
patiently for my turn. I was like,
And
I'm Brittany.
somebody's dum.
She wanted to be
dum,
Jeremy.
dum, dum.
Yeah.
I'm Brittany.
I Eored it.
you're Eeyore.
So, I don't know about you guys. Just
What do
coming
you
back.
not know about me? I'll
Yes.
tell you.
Oh, wow. Why did you stop?
I've had significant cramps in the back of my legs for the last 2 nights due to the lack of hydration and all the walking we did this past weekend.
Hydration, it all makes sense now.
I mean, that's better than other reasons you'd have cramps there.
Yeah, I guess
Could have Charlie horses. That'd be bad.
that would be the worst.
Mhm.
Now, not to piss and moan on the podcast. We had an awesome time this past weekend at the IBO Trad Worlds. It was a great time. However, none of us performed as well as we wished or had hoped.
Stank it up.
It was
We left little turds on everyone.
and you know what? I
So
witnessed it. I
bad.
come around to Target 21, and there Brittany was driving.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, Brittany, what are you doing? She goes, mind your own business.
Well, I mean, I got great news over the weekend, though.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Oh.
This is a little BT exclusive.
Uh-oh. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Think we're
Jason
hearing it here
Statham has
first, too.
decided to play me in the Breaking Trad movie.
Really?
Oh.
Yes,
wow.
yes. He said
Wow.
that at first he wasn't willing to gain the weight, but he's going to do it.
I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I felt
Oh,
every
goodness.
pound climbing. Like,
Oh, this weekend?
Yes.
Is that why we had salad for
Yes.
lunch?
it is exactly, and it's why we're gonna have salad for lunch every day this
Oh
week.
my goodness. I'm so looking forward to that.
Yeah, right.
Sounds miserable.
Yeah.
Listen, I advocated for sushi, but she won.
He won't ever eat sushi.
Yeah, it's too hot outside. Plus, there's a little bit of, it's just like,
I'm down with sushi.
I mean, I'll eat
tomorrow.
sushi. I'll eat sushi as it cools off.
Sushi salad, like just like chop it up and be like, it's a salad.
Yeah, Brittany says she likes cooked sushi. I'm like, it's not sushi.
Yeah,
She likes
right.
I'm not
like
eating
baked and
anything
fried.
raw.
You're not eating anything
Baked
raw?
fried
Heck
sushi.
no.
California roll, fried California roll. I love that. That's good
Just
stuff.
give me a snow crab roll.
That's good too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're talking about crab rolls, but I just want to go back real quick.
To archery.
Well, not necessarily archery. I'm curious. I don't remember signing any paperwork for this movie. I'm just curious. I'm
That's still in the works.
Well, oh yeah. So like, how's
As
the
we
plot?
get actors to sign on.
How does the plot work out? What's the plot about? Like,
Well, the plot's not important. It's about the actors at first.
Gotcha.
So, Alan, who are you going to ask to play you? I'm just curious.
I haven't asked anybody, but I do have I heard Hugh Jackman was coming my way. He said Wolverine was subpar,
Uh-huh.
and it would be an honor and the greatest achievement in his life to actually play me in the new Breaking Trad movie. And
I did hear he had just started, like, he got real bad on drugs.
So, well, okay.
Please
So
don't sue
now
us.
we've got this all started. Before our guest comes on, we got to clear this up. Who would play you in the BT movie?
Reese Witherspoon.
I
Dolly
could see
Parton.
that. I could see that. Easy killer.
I love me some Dolly, but I'm not that old.
Well, I don't know if that's even what he was talking
I know,
about.
I know exactly
It was
what
in
you're
reference
talking
to other
about, but, you know.
aspects, but
But so how about you there, Amanda? Who would play you? And don't say I don't know, because that's always your go-to. We
Rachel
need to
McAdams.
Yes, she's beautiful. I love her.
What about her?
I mean, I love her too.
Yes, I love Rachel McAdams. What about Amanda?
I love
Can
Amanda
we,
too.
can we just get Rachel McAdams to take Amanda's place altogether?
No, I love her.
Okay, so there you have it.
I'm gonna double check my.
Jason Statham, Reese Witherspoon.
Struggle bus.
Hey, what was that joke? Something, you know that lady actress?
I don't know, but you got a cracked up Wolverine for you, and
Rachel McAdams.
So
Rachel
that,
McAdams.
you know that Reese lady, she killed her husband. You know she killed her husband, right?
No.
Reese Witherspoon.
No, she.
Oh my God.
Hard to
Oh
say.
my God.
Good God.
So it's a knife. You know, you say knife, and then you're like, no, with her spoon. So
I think you butchered it.
Ah.
but
I
don't
did
know.
butcher it because he said Reese Witherspoon. Anyways.
Oh, wait
anyway-
a minute. I did hear a joke about Reese Witherspoon. Actually, I just made it up, but I thought it was a clever joke that I just made up in my head.
So that's where we're gonna leave it.
Yes, we're gonna leave it at. I think Reese Witherspoon, when she like goes to buy her bras, she calls them Reese cups.
Well, I hope our guest is still
Yeah,
alive.
are
on
you
the
still
other
there, my man?
phone.
I know he's there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bud. We got carried away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is the past president of the Panhandle Bowhunters Organization, fellow content creator,
Mm-hmm.
and a good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Jeremy Blackmon. How are you, buddy? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks you guys for having me on.
Awesome, man. Listen, I'm sorry we got carried away. We didn't mean to hold you up. It's the second time tonight we've left you hanging, and I apologize.
No, it was okay. I was kind of getting into it there. I was waiting on the plot. I was kind of thinking Reese Witherspoon was going to kill her husband with a knife or something. So,
Well,
it's kinda-
so it was supposed to be. You know that actress, the
Wait a
Reese?
minute, that was directed towards me.
yeah, she killed her husband, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then you do the knife motion, like the psycho
Yeah.
motion. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like Withers knife. No, it's like Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, ha, ha,
That's
ha.
right.
Man, that's the
Yeah.
you might be the daddest dad ever with that joke.
Well, I do what I can, and thank you. You know what you need to put? You need to put like a round of applause in there.
we just need like a dad award to hold up and give to you.
Dad of all dads.
Oh, gosh.
Nothing like getting off on rabbit trails, right? Yes.
Right.
We all do it.
Yep.
Especially this four.
Yep.
Lord.
That's for sure.
So, Jeremy, we noticed that you go to, in regards to archery, what in the world? Your go-to in regards to archery is mainly compound.
Yeah, that's true.
No hard
Yes.
feelings there. I mean, it is what it is. But
Well, that is my go-to. But if you ever watch my channel or hear me much, I just love archery. If it shoots an arrow, I like it.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
present
Right.
style. So.
Oh, we're
just
not-
messing you on that.
yeah.
But what or who was it that got you into archery?
Well, so when I was probably around 7 years old, and I'm 52 now, so to give you an idea, my dad decided he wanted to bow hunt to get a little more time in the woods. And then my grandfather was already into it and loved it. And so from the time of about 8 years old, my grandpa would drag me hunting. He would put me on homemade climbers and shove me up a tree as far as he could reach. That's where I would sit till he came back. And I flung more arrows at deer and missed more deer than you probably could just about fit in a semi truck. So, and that was with a 53-pound bear grizzly recurve that I could only pull obviously halfway back at the time, but I actually have that bow here at home, same bow I started with. So
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
You said you still
Yeah.
got that bow?
I do still have that bow, yeah.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what kind of other bows you got? You got as far as traditional goes and compound.
Man, traditional bows. I've got a couple of Samick bows. I've got that bow. I've got an old Pearson longbow. I've got a Pearson that was one we made in 2010. It was actually it's going to kind of be a comeback, and it's actually serial number 0. But
Oh wow.
it's a 42-pound takedown recurve. It's a beautiful bow, but I don't shoot it near enough to do it justice. So, and then compounds. The list is probably too long to list. I've got a lot of
Those
different
things-
ones.
I mean, I know traditional bows, they're crazy expensive. Yeah. So like it depends in regards to what level, like the craftsmanship and all, it can
Yeah.
exceed beyond I think what Mandy, your bow is like $1,600 or something like that. And then
Yeah. So like, I shoot my target bow that I shoot. So Matthews TRX, I think they're around $1,600 retail. And then by the time you get all the stuff on, you'll have, it's pretty easy to get $3,500 into a bow with price everything nowadays. But I don't necessarily have every bow loaded, but I've got
Right.
other bows. And I worked at Pearson for about 12 years, and so I've done some R&D stuff at the time too. And so I have some bows that I was the designer of them, so I have like the first models of those.
Are you kidding me, man? I never knew you.
Yeah,
You designed bows.
I did, yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty
So,
cool.
so those were. I'm not an engineer, but they were my ideas, and I worked with an engineer and put them on paper, and actually ended up with a bow machine like I wanted. So I have like the first ones of those cut, and so they have just sentimental value to me more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So is it? So is there a level of confidentiality that needs to maintain, or can you kind of tell us like what you put your head on as far as bows you've messed with?
Well, so there's not really, there was a bow in like '04 was a Pearson Edge was one of my first ones that I worked on design on. And it was, it went real well. We used a cam system from Darton on that bow, but it done real well. And then, '09, a bow called the Pearson Advantage, and then Pearson Legend after that. But
Cool.
those, we were using some different cam systems. It really, it was my designs were in a balance I wanted in the bow and the shape of the handle, just features that I knew over the years had made bows shoot well. So it was really me taking things I liked of 10 different bow companies and put them all in one bow.
Oh, awesome.
And so they done real well, shot well, and just through changes of things, I ended up leaving Pearson, and I miss it. I still do some consulting and stuff, but kind of archery's in my blood. It don't matter what I do. I end up back shooting a bow or something like that. So.
yeah.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. Like, so if you've had a Pearson anytime between 04 and 2010.
Yeah. And so I actually went to work there first in 97. I left there and went back and was there until about 2012. So total of 12 years in there. So
when did you say you started again?
97.
So if you've owned a Pearson bow between 2007 and 2012 and beyond, Mr. Jeremy Blackmon has had some sort of insight on the design. And you can
probably so. I left there for a few years again, but a big part of those I did, and so I still, funny enough, I still get calls from people wanting to know string links and stuff like that, specs on them, because they were customers of mine back then. So,
oh, cool, man, that's awesome.
So
that's really impressive.
Well, it's not when you think about the years and how long I've done it. It's just what I love. So
right.
When you love something like that, it's not really work. So it's just what you do. So.
Right.
But I appreciate it anyway. So.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool, man.
All right. So we know you have a YouTube channel. It's Archery Universe. Tell us a little bit about it and what drove you to start the channel. Like, what was your goal? What kind of information were you wanting to get out? Just, give us a little insight behind it.
Yeah. So I had a few different goals with it. Really, I just love shooting, and there's so many good channels out there. And frankly, I have so much to learn. I'm not good at it right now. I got a lot to learn, but a lot of channels I watch give somebody part of the information, or they give somebody partial good information, some bad information. So when I started, my goal was to educate people. Really, was what I want to do, give them really accurate information and help people shoot better. And then also just I enjoy taking the camera on a 3D range. Last weekend I was in West Virginia and shot with a little kid and videoed him, and I just had a blast because he just off the camera was just he was just enthralled with it. So I've come to enjoy that side too. So I kind of just, there's an entertainment factor to it. Go hang out, shoot my bow, and let everybody see what it's like to shoot 3D ranges or hunting. I've done some of that too.
Yeah.
But the main goal when starting it really was I wanted to educate people and kind of give really accurate information and not just part good information and part half-truth information, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so let's back up a second. You said you was in West Virginia last weekend?
Yeah, I was. Week before last.
The week
before
last.
My wife, so my wife has family in West Virginia, and we found out there was an archery range in a little town called Tunnelton, West Virginia, where she was raised at.
Hang on 1 second. Say it one more time. You cut out a little bit so everybody knows what you're talking about.
Okay, Tunnelton, West Virginia. So we found out there was a range there, a club, and so we seen that they were having shoots. So we just kind of scheduled a vacation to go visit her family on the same weekend they were having a shoot, so that I could take my bow and shoot a tournament while I was there. So
sweet. There you go.
Yeah, so it's only 900 miles from home. I'm telling you. So
you had it. What was it? 9.5, 10 hours for you?
It was 14-hour drive.
Ooh, son.
Yeah, 14-hour drive. But we had a good time. We got to see family, and I got to shoot a bow. Got to meet some people I hadn't met before, and that's you and we've talked about this before, and I talked about it up there at that shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I've got people all across the country from shooting tournaments for 30 years that I've met at these shoots and things, and it's just you meet such great people, and that's really what I want to share. That's for me. That's what it's about. Why I promote archery so much is the thing just done for me in life. So.
Amen to that.
Absolutely. And
Best
plus
kind of people.
yeah, and it scares people. I think it legitimately scares people because we talk about, man, these people are awesome. Like you can leave your keys in your car, you leave your wallet in your front seat, windows down, go shoot the course, come back, and everything's still sitting there. And they're like, "Are you in a cult?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, it's not a cult, man." And they're like, "Well, it sounds like a cult." And I'm like, "No, dude, I'm telling you,
it's more of a family.
yeah,
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
really is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great people. I mean, you like go out of state, you're going to an archery event, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's good stuff.
And
Yeah.
Speaking of West Virginia, man, like we just got back to. That place is beautiful.
Yes.
The prettiest scenery. I've been to Gatlinburg and Tennessee, the mountains and stuff, but
Matt seemed to
That
think
doesn't
that there
do it
wasn't
justice.
any mountains.
Yeah,
I never
I
saw
know.
mountains the whole time we were there. There was really tall trees
you're crazy.
that sloped, but there was no mountains.
He's crazy.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
we went through a mountain on the way. Did you guys? I guess you guys did that too, huh? Y'all went east, come
Yeah.
up through Tennessee.
Yeah, we did. We went through a couple of tunnels. Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful area up there. We love it, but my wife hates the snow because she was raised up there, so that just keeps us. We just visit when it's nice and come home.
She got as far away from the snow as she possibly could. Apparently.
No doubt. Any further, she'd have been staying in the Gulf of Mexico. So,
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's one thing we don't have to worry about is snow.
Well,
No.
not recently, not
Yeah,
since
but yeah. But
1993.
see, they got the ocean. We
Yeah.
just have nothing. Just sweat.
Insects. It's insects. We got the
Yeah.
insects.
Yeah,
We
we got.
get sludge when it does snow,
Yeah,
Yeah, we get ice.
I mean, at least
Nothing
we're not
fun.
Louisiana.
we get the
Yes,
tornadoes.
that's a good point. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Louisiana. But you guys are bad. Like, it's bad muggy down there. I mean, we think it's hot and humid here. Louisiana,
yeah,
you can't get away
Yeah,
from it.
yeah, and that's it's being here so close to the Gulf in Pensacola. We have that humidity. It's nothing for us to have 95, 100% humidity.
Oh,
It happened a few weeks ago. It was 104 degrees with a heat index of 114. So
good Lord.
But
Well-
see, it was such a nice change though going to West Virginia because it was warm, but you could breathe.
Yeah.
I know,
was
right?
like, I could
But-
take a
The morning we
breath.
shot it was 64 degrees.
But
I was
one thing
holy
is
cow.
One thing I will point out is that is not a deterrence from going to shoot
Oh, no.
No.
No,
at the
'cause then-
Panhandle.
Because then you can drive 20 minutes to get to the.
Oh,
beach.
yeah. So, we're getting into that, but what's the weather going to be like for the weekend of the 50?
Hot.
I was like,
Sounds good.
that's too far to tell.
Yeah.
It's hot, but we're going to help take care of that. We
Right.
may change
Well, so that kind of segues us into
things about how to place the coolers and stuff, and we're going to have we'll have nice cold apples in the coolers and
Oh,
all
yeah.
the free water and apples you
well,
want.
all right.
I
So
forgot
that
about the apples.
yeah, so that kind of
Hold
segues.
on.
That was a good segue into Brittany's question and our last question of the evening. Go ahead, Brittany, take it away.
Okay. So when this airs, of course, it's going to be about a week out from Panhandle 50. And we came down and shot last year. Check out a couple of our podcasts in relation to that. We had an awesome time. You guys put in a ton of work. There are 50 different targets, some 5 different, what do you call it? Like scenery, not
Regions?
courses,
Themes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
North
themed
America, yeah.
themes and if I'd have
Yeah.
just read a little bit.
Yeah. You see that
So-
there?
I did see that there. But when you get hot at the end of the day, you've got to just go 20 minutes to the ocean and then you get to cool off and enjoy the beautiful, never-ending blue skies.
That's right.
They're just there. They never go
Brittany
away.
just went to a
Brittany, yes,
trance.
we lost her.
she's
We lost
gone.
her.
Let's go.
She got to thinking about the beach, right?
Yep.
On the beach now.
So
Beautiful.
read on.
Okay, so
That's kind of how we are thinking about going to get to see Jeremy and everybody else at the Panhandle. And
We
All right.
We all get in
well,
that little trance. We're like, we're going to see friends.
we stare off into the distance and
and
like,
see
Let me,
seafood.
let me get into the question. So tell us what somebody who has never been can expect to experience when they attend your shoot.
the Panhandle 50.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Panhandle
So
Bowhunters shoot.
I hope they're going to have a blast. So I'm going to tell you a little background behind it first, and we'll take you in a second. So
No,
the Panhandle
please.
Bowhunter has been around since 1966, and I've been a member since around 86 or 88. I don't remember exactly when I joined. But we used to have a thing called the Jamboree at the end of every year where we came together and just ate and shot bows, right?
Mhm.
And so that went away for a long time, and I really wanted to bring that back when I was club president. And so we did that for a year or two. And then we had this idea of doing the Panhandle 50, making it a multi-day shoot and really give somebody a bargain to come in for a nice fair price. Let them shoot all weekend from Friday through Sunday if they want to, as many rounds as they want. First round, the only one counts for score. And put them plenty of water and drinks and stuff on the range, just let everybody come together, really shoot bows, kind of enjoy what we love. And so that's the premise behind what got it started.
Okay.
Last year was the first year being the Panhandle 50. Just like Brittany said, there's 5 ranges, typically 10 target ranges. They are different themes. One might be a whitetail range where you got all whitetail targets. Of North America where you'll have a variety. A prehistoric where you might have anything from a imp target to a dinosaur or a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And then a mountain range where you might only have mountain goats and rams and mountain lions and black bears, that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay.
And so each range has a theme, and you can shoot those 5 ranges anytime you want, from starting Friday morning at 9 o'clock through Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. A little things we're going to do different this year. We're going to probably add, kind of like I learned some things from Navy Bryant. He's great at what he does. We're going to add some extra shots in there, maybe where you can pick a target that might be worth more points. We already put a yellow dot on some of the targets that's worth 14 points instead of 12.
And we love those.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. So we're also looking at, we'll have some apples on some targets this year that are foam
Jeremy,
apples that can shoot for bonus. Yeah.
Jeremy, I'm sorry, man. Listen, I'm not trying to cut you short or anything. I want you to repeat what you said. You for some reason, I don't really necessarily sure what's going on. I don't want nobody to miss out on what's going on. But the phone kind of fizzled out a little bit, so I'm not sure that it was very clear. But I know that you said that you guys are going to do a few things different. That you got the inspiration from
Levy Bryant.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
And
So Levy was one of our past presidents too, right? So Levy's been instrumental in that club for years, and setting up a range with him, getting ready for the IBO trad shoot that we hosted. I really like having the 2 targets that are staking, where you can choose one that has a higher value than the other, or multiple stakes. We're going to incorporate a couple of things that he done. I really like what they were. And then we're going to change this year. We're going to probably have a couple of targets on the range that may have a foam apple on top of a target, so you can shoot it. It might be worth 18 points or 20 points instead of just 10. But you've got an apple to shoot at and hit. So we really just want everybody to come have a good time. And then this year, you can just call the Panhandle 50. We're actually going to have 60 targets, because we're going to set a specific 10 target range that's going to be just a challenge range. It's going to be longer distance. Every shot will be through a tunnel or something tight, narrow shot.
Crybaby range?
Just a challenge. Yeah, I love it. Maybe we'll change the name to Crybaby Range. I love it. So we're going to have a 10 target range that, in addition, that it's not for score, that it's free to go shoot anytime you want during the weekend. We'll tell you where it's at. You go shoot it and have a blast.
Okay.
Because it really is, we want people to come down there, and I really eventually want it to be a destination. When people get done with this shoot, I want them to be so excited about this shoot. They're telling everybody about it and bragging and trying to drag them here for next year already. So,
yeah. Well, you guys' facility is incredible. Like the facility is really, really nice. You guys got like awesome setup out there. Food vending, like you got food concessions. You got the course set up on all the way down. You've got what's the furthest? 80 meters or 50 meters?
80 yards. So you can go
yards.
from 15 to 80 yards in 5-yard increments at the practice range.
Oh yeah, and you guys do coaching there too for like local NASP and stuff like that.
Yeah. So we've had an S3DA team there for a few years, and we also have we have a group of instructors that the first and third Thursdays of each month we do free lessons for beginners. So all they have to do is show up at 5 o'clock. They'll sign them in, check them in, and at 5:30 they start shooting. And it doesn't matter if you've never shot a bow, as long as you're big enough or old enough to pick the bow up and hold it up by yourself. They'll give you lessons on how to shoot a bow.
Oh yeah, see that's awesome. And
We
like,
had last week they had 33 shooters show up on Thursday afternoon.
oh, I seen that post. It was yeah, it was like the most so far. Yeah.
Yeah, the most we had before, I think it was 26, and then like I said, I think it was 33 last week. So, man, the amount of people we expose to it in a year is tremendous.
Oh, I love it.
That's what it's all about, just getting people to shoot a bow.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I love it. I love seeing people coming out. Like my boss today told me, he goes, "Hey, my son is starting to shoot archery," and I was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah, I thought I'd let you know since you know." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool, man. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Let me know what he thinks."
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but so you guys start when you guys start prepping for this thing. I have 50 targets. You know, we do the hill does 30 targets, and we're out a week ahead of time, and it takes all day long to set these things up. So, what is
Yeah,
it?
so we got a few of us, and we'll spend a couple of weeks. So basically, I'll go out and start laying out where I want lanes and marking lanes where I want targets, and deciding which lanes they're going to be. We have a couple other members that'll go out then and start laying targets out at the front of the range. Usually, I'll go back and put the targets out and pick where the target's going to be, and then we'll have somebody else come back in and put stakes in. And with kind of, and so we got 3 or 4 of us kind of work and do that, but it'll probably be about a 2 or 3 week process. I'll start actually this week in the evenings going out there doing some of that.
Yeah.
Next week we'll put some of the targets up. The week after we'll mark the range off to keep everybody off of the range.
Yeah.
And then off of that part of the range anyway. And so we'll end up by the time a week before the shoot, all 50 targets will be out and be ready to shoot.
Wow. There you go. It's a 2-week ordeal. I get it.
Yeah, and it really takes that because we'll go through and walk the course and make sure the targets are good and there's nothing hanging down in front of them that kind of block the shots. Because when you start working the lanes, you get rain, especially around here, these afternoon rainstorms and stuff. You'll end up with limbs and vines and stuff hanging down. So
yeah,
we want to again. You'll hear me say if we do something right, I want you to tell everybody else. If we do something wrong, I want you to tell me.
Right.
Right.
Well, can we just take a second and start a slow clap for the Panhandle for all the work that they're putting in? Because I mean, without these guys, you guys would not have a place to shoot your bow, and this is what it takes. Okay. People don't really take into consideration the individuals who are willing to put the work in. And those are the individuals that needs the praise, because if without those guys, you and I, anybody else would not have a place to shoot. And I think it's very important that we recognize the individuals willing to put the work in and make things happen like this. And I think it's awesome. And we just, again, I want to slow clap or give a round of applause for Mr. Blackmon and the crew there at the Panhandle 50. Congratulations and way to go, guys. I think it's going to be awesome. And I hope we get to make it.
Not to mention he's an all-around nice guy.
Yeah.
Jeremy's a nice guy.
I mean, if you don't like Jeremy, you're the wrong crowd.
He said, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, don't tell anybody, sir.
All right. So,
we really do have, because I'll brag on the people. We have a great group of people. And again, that club's been around forever. I've been in it, for 30 something years. And it literally is like a family there, and the people just pitch in and work. And so everybody wants to go over well and wants somebody to have a good time. So,
right.
I mean, I can legitimately say that out of everybody I've met there, the only people I don't like is the people that beat me.
Including yourself, right?
Yes,
Yeah, including
me.
yourself, because it's all you. It's
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's that stupid bow.
But oh man, I lost train of thought. What was I fixing to say? So goodness gracious alive.
We're hoping we'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we're hoping-
hoping that we're gonna make it.
And okay, somebody help me out
Well,
here.
and
yeah,
we
keep
may
going. There
or
we
may
go.
not have a lane there.
Oh yeah, can you do you have any knowledge of that?
I think you are going to have a lane or two, something like that. We're going to have, and so that was something we done new this year is let people sponsor lanes so they could have their name out on the range on a lane. And honestly, for us, that makes a huge difference. We're buying some new targets this year. You may or may not see a mosquito that looks like it's native to Pensacola.
Yeah, that thing was like life size.
You know what? Last year I had an arrow deflect off a mosquito going into
I don't doubt it. We've got the largest mosquitoes in the world on our range. So
The mosquito just slapped the arrow down. It was like, nope.
No, get out of my house.
yeah. So you might see a new cobra target, or a python target, something like that. So
Nice.
doing those things like that help us to buy the targets. And this is a kind of a long-term thing. It's not a one and done or two and done. We want this thing so we can do it years and years down the road. So
awesome.
just help us do that. But
Well, I
Yeah.
hope there's a Bigfoot.
There
is certainly a Bigfoot. He'll be on the prehistoric range waiting on him. Just
Brittany
waiting
loves
on
the
you. So,
Bigfoot.
He's like,
He's my favorite.
Brittany's like, I want to sponsor my own lane of just Bigfoots.
you know, I think just for you, Brittany, I'm going to stick a spoon in his hand.
a Bigfoot Witherspoon.
Oh, and only y'all will get what the joke is. But
All right.
If you
Great.
don't do it, it's got to be done. All right, so you guys hearing it on the podcast. When we get there, we're going to take a picture of the Bigfoot with a spoon in his hand.
just-
We should get a blonde
That-
wig for it too.
That should be our laneway sponsor. Just saying.
That's great.
I really do
Um,
wish, because I knew it was important and I knew it would have been beneficial for all the listeners. And I apologize in advance, or not in advance, post, because I can't remember what I'm saying. But we're getting really close to 30. You feel pretty happy with the information we got out there? Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Solid.
yeah.
So-
If y'all are good, I'm good, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can find, first of all, you can find Mr. Blackmon and his YouTube channel on youtube.com, Archery Universe / Archery Universe. And he's on Facebook on Archery with, I'm
Ooh, slow
butchering it.
down,
Excuse
slow
me.
down.
So, Facebook, Archery Universe. You can also find the Panhandle Bowhunters on Facebook at panhandle.bowhunters. So if you're looking for information and you want to kind of, you want to see it physically or, put eyes on it, you can always go there and search that information for those events. But Mr. Blackmon, if it's all good with you, I think we'll call time.
Yep, sounds great to me. I really appreciate y'all having us on and preparing for the shoot and really looking forward to seeing y'all down here.
All right, man. We will see you in a week because that's when this podcast will air.
All right, so our shoot list has kind of dwindled down a little bit. If you know of any that are going to be within the month of September, excuse me, please send them to us on Facebook and let us know. We'll get them out to everybody. But the first one's going to be August 13th and 14th. 5 or Better Archery Club in Winchester, Tennessee at City Park. There will be cash prizes. I think this is like one of their first. Is this one of their first shoots? You know, is that the one that's like new? The Winchester?
Yes. I think
Yes.
so.
Okay. So that's new. Y'all go out and support them. There's going to be a fun shoot August 13th in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. August 13th. Buck Hollow will also be hosting a team shoot in Dixon, Tennessee. 2-man teams. There will have a 15 target course set up for those who don't want to participate in the team shoot but would still like to come shoot your bow. I think it's like $10 and you can shoot all day, if I'm not mistaken. August 13th and 14th, also Red Mountain Bowman traditional shoot in Wausau, Wisconsin. August 19th through the 21st, the Panhandle 50 at the Klondike Archery Park, which is what we were just talking to Jeremy about. So much fun. Definitely come down if you can. August 20th, we'll have a Twin Oaks open shoot. Then September 10th, the 20th annual, is it 20th or 30th? 30th. 30th annual Whitetail Classic at Twin Oaks Bowhunters in Chapmansboro, Tennessee. And let's see. My keeps jumping back to August. All right, let's see. We have Saturday, the 17th and 18th of September, the ASTB Russ Dixon Memorial Shoot in Briarfield, Alabama. And there will also be a Bernard Myers Memorial Benefit Shoot at Buck Hollow Bowhunters on that same weekend. I think that's all I have. So if you know of any more for September or even the beginning of October, send them our way and we'll get them out there.
Guys, we're glad you could join us for this week's episode of Breaking Trad. We hope you had as much fun as we did.
You can catch the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
You can contact us at breakingtradpodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook at breakingtradal and on Instagram at breaking_trad. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel.
Remember to subscribe and follow us. That way you'll get notifications every time we drop a new episode.
Join us next week, and remember,
Make every shot count.